YouTube tarot reader, Lisa Lee, has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Indeed, do not watch if you are easily offended. I've just noticed just how extremely bright my makeup is today on camera. I've changed the settings a little bit. Oh, see, now you can't even see it. I've changed the settings a little bit on the camera and it looks a lot brighter. And I wasn't quite ready for that. So there we go. I've gone a bit full on because I didn't think you'll be able to see the colors, and now it looks like I'm auditioning for RuPaul. Anyhow, never mind. Good evening, everybody. It is Beyond Authentic. We are going to be doing some tarot readings this evening. I thought we'd focus on the self-love, romance, self-care type elements. So if you are looking for a romantic reading, we can certainly do that today. But also, if you aren't looking for a romantic reading, oh, thank you, Violet, that's lovely. If you're not looking for a romantic reading, then you might be wanting to get a little bit of a self-love, self-care reading. So regular viewers and old viewers of the channel will know we used to do this every Sunday. We had a sacred self-care Sunday that eventually turned into doing tarot, and then eventually that turned into doing it today as well. So I pulled this one out of the retirement bundle, so I thought we might do that today. I've also got the sacred, oh, what's it called? Hang on, I've forgotten. Complete the star spinner. It's not sacred anything. I've got the Star Spinner Tarot, which is, again, it's one of these sort of quite modern takes on the old classics. So I've got that one, and I've got the Queer Tarot, just because I love the imagery in this deck. It's very bright. It's very obviously based on Patricia Coleman Smith's artwork, but it's just so much brighter. Fun. Oops, sorry if you're wearing headphones, apologies for that. Also, before we start, not only is it a Valentine's Day type thing, but also spring is here. I don't know whether anybody noticed. I went out yesterday morning, I think it was, when I woke up, and I opened the window in the kitchen and I went, oh, summer's here. Spring's here. So this is a spring sun. And I said to Rufus, it's a spring sun today. Thank you for everybody noticing my top. I'm not going to get too close to the camera because it is very rude. If you actually look close up, it is very extremely rude. But it's got lots of love hearts all over it. So that's what we'll call it. So yes, it's if you are what was I saying? Spring. So yes, so yesterday was the first day of it being a spring sun, because it was yellow. It wasn't a white sun or a whitish yellow sun. It was now a yellow sun. For the first time this year, I've seen it. And then this morning, when I got up and made my coffee, the birds were singing outside. And again, it's the first time I've noticed that. So spring is just around the corner, everyone. Spring is coming. Holland's asking who's having pancakes. We're not having pancakes. We're going to have some gammon and egg later for tea. That sounds absolutely lovely. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone actually for popping in already. Good evening to Renata as well. So, saw you there. I've even got today, look, I even pulled out, I think this is about 3 seasons old, Costa coffee cup with love hearts all over it. But instead of it being like, kiss me, make me yours, all of that, it says, love a latte, make mine a mocha. But first, a coffee. Hello, love. Are you all right? I'm joined by a wild Rufus. A wild Rufus in the wild, or something like that. Everyone's saying they like my top, Rufus, but I don't think anyone's zoomed in on it, so we're okay. Yeah, not that I'm putting attention to it. But anyway, yes, so that's what we're going to be doing this evening. Lots of love readings, if that's what you want. Some advice on self-love and self-care. courtesy of the Sacred Self-Care Oracle. I've got a lovely pink candle today because, again, I thought that was appropriate. So we'll do some lovely pink candle work, if that makes sense. Getting a bit more love. I think, listen, right now, I think our world needs a bit more love, don't you? I think we need to put out love energy into the cosmos, put it out into the wider world, because wherever we are, whoever you are, whether you have a partner or not, whether you have multiple partners, or whether you are free and single and all of that is behind you, or whether you've never had a partner because you are just not romantically inclined, I think we still need to put some love out into the universe, don't we? Because the universe needs some love right now, especially this poor little rock that we're on, sailing through the cold darkness of space. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for every one of us. What the world needs now. I know, right? I know you knew I was going to sing to that, but anyway. So yes, good evening, everybody. He's gone now. He only popped in for some chicken nuggets. Not for us. It's what the dogs are going to have today. Well, it's what Eddie's going to have for dinner today. Some there might even be vegan chicken nuggets, actually, if I remember rightly. Fake chicken nuggets. Because oh my gosh, the tale with Eddie. So we got some incredibly expensive, like, it's very, very special dog food with no grains and all of this lovely, and it's fit for humans, and it's delicious and lovely and delicious. And we got a mixed selection of them. So we gave him the salmon one. Oh, he loved it. He lapped it up, loved it, ate it without a single problem. Yum, 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 yum. So we thought, hurrah, we're on to a winner. We finally found a dog food that he'll eat because he's a stickler. Next day, we go, my sticker keeps coming undone, so I'm going to take it off there. Anyway, so the next day, we give him the salmon dinner, and he leaves it. Not only does he leave it, but we put it in his bed, so because sometimes he doesn't want to eat at like normal dinner time, because they normally eat about 7-8 o'clock. So sometimes he doesn't want to eat then. So we put it in his bed, and by the morning time, he's woke up, I got hungry, had a midnight snack of his dinner. Not a problem. But no, he didn't eat it at all, even overnight. He just left it. So Eddie is being the most ridiculous, fussy dog at the moment. So he's on the chicken nugs today. Healthy chicken nuggets is what he's getting, and the girls are getting the ridiculously expensive dog food. But yes, anyway, it's all good. All good. Yes, we need love and understanding. I'm sure that's a Cher song, and I've got that mixed up with something else in my brain. But anyway, we're going to do that. I'll tell you what, though, for today, shall we start off with a self-love oracle pull? I think we're going to do that first because it just feels appropriate. Do you know what I mean? Look at the blue tack stuck here. Look, absolutely no cost spared. I've only got one of those stickers, and I didn't want to waste it by sticking it on the microphone. So yes, let's God, I'm such a cheapskate. Right, let's have a look. So I've got a red floral cloth today as well. I know, right? I'm going all out with the theming. The lights are on red, everything looks nice and pretty. Let's just move that slightly forward to there. Is that a good angle, everybody? Is that good? And then we'll put the cloth light on, and there we go. Look, a lovely red silky kind of tabletop today. So then let's see, we're going to pull a self-care oracle card, or self-love oracle card. We're going to pull one of these today, and we're going to see if we can all follow what this needs, okay? Because we all need a bit of love, we really do. So then, without even bringing in the dragons, we're just going to see what the card is for today. What would today's self-care oracle card be? That's 2 drops. Are we going to get a third? No, that looks like we're done. So then it is, come on. Oh, these do not want to. There we go. So today's is drink tea. There you go. Have a nice cup of tea. Chamomile tea, mint tea, a calming tea, but drink it mindfully. Now, I do have my coffee here, but it is the only coffee, or my last coffee of the night, I should say. But yes, look, drink tea and drink it mindfully. I love the tea rituals. Okay, and that is what this is referring to with the kettle, the cross-leggedness, and the particular type of cup. This is actually talking about a tea ritual, which is, quite frankly, a whole meditative state, and it's about enjoying and being mindful and using that moment of just having a cup of tea, or just having that moment to yourself, and just remembering all the positive things, and just to connect with what you're actually doing, because what you're actually doing is giving your body nourishment and fluids and loving yourself. So there we go. Have a nice cup of tea, everybody. In fact, if you are having a nice cup of tea, put the tea or coffee emoji down on the doodah. Put it down on the doodah. Red for passion. Well, hopefully, Patricia, hopefully, for some of us, we need a bit more passion in our lives. But I just thought it was a nice, pretty cloth, to be honest. Anyway, shall we crack on? So let's crack on with some tarot reading. How do you get a tarot reading on this channel? Well, first of all, before we explain all of that, I forgot we need to do the housekeeping. Let me change cameras. So then, you do need to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And especially, you need to know that tarot is officially for entertainment purposes only, okay? You make all of your own choices about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counseling advice. If you're looking for support in those areas, seek out a professional in those areas. Don't come and ask a tarot reader what about the stock market. Don't ask a tarot reader, are your test results going to come back positive or negative because you've gone for a medical exam. That isn't what we're here to do. But affairs of the heart, affairs of the career, affairs maybe not, but all of that is the sort of thing that we're here to help with today, especially if you are lacking a little bit of self-love in your life and you're wanting to maybe start to take the Valentine's energy and internalize it and turn that energy, instead of it being a Hallmark made holiday, let's turn that around and let's concentrate on how we can be better and more loving and generous and caring to ourselves. I think that should be what we're doing today. Anyway, not only do you have to be 18 years of age or over, remember that anything you put on the internet is for life. Okay, whatever you put out there is for life. And what that means is, if you say something in the chat, please don't dox yourself. Please don't give away too much personal information. Feel free to chat with the other people in the chat, in the comments and in the live chat. Feel free to chat to the moderators. They're a wonderful, wonderful bunch of people. But please protect your own privacy at all times. Okay, I don't want you to come a cropper in 2 years' time because you've said, oh, F this, F that, these effing people over here, and you've denigrated a whole group of people, and then that comment gets dragged up, and then you lose your brand new starring role in a film in Hollywood because those comments have been dragged up. I'm not saying that is going to happen, but we have seen things like that happen with comments from the past get dragged up. So please just watch yourself. And that's just not here, that's anywhere on the internet. And of course, if you're doing anything illegal or immoral, well, immoral is depending on whose morals you're using. But if you're doing anything illegal, don't come and tell us in the chat. Don't say you just twacked your neighbour's car and you've been doing donuts in the car park and now you thought you'd pop on to see if the police are going to follow you or the tarot reading. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, if you need to do those things, I mean, well, just don't do those things in general. But also, like, if you're having an affair with someone behind your wife, husband, spouse's back, don't come and tell us that. You know what I mean? Unless you want it to get found out. Anyway, let's crack on with some tarot readings. So how would you actually get a reading on this channel? Now we've talked about what you should and shouldn't do. How would you request a reading? Well, it's dead simple. There are two ways. The first way is probably the easiest, and that is to send a super chat. Okay, send a super chat, put your question in the super chat. That automatically comes through to me. It gets starred. It goes to a separate part of the system. I can see it easily, and it's absolutely bloody fantastic. Or you can wait until I open up a free round, and then you can put your question in to the live chat, starting with the word question, and I will then pull one of those at random. Now, if you are watching this on replay, much love to you on the replay crew. Hello, I hope you are doing fan-bloody-tastically, and not only much love, but kisses too. I'm trying to work out if I've got. Oh, I do have something. I do have something on my thumb. I thought it was just a reflection of the lights then, but it's actually a little bit of lipstick from when I put my lips on. Anyway, what was I saying? I was probably talking nonsense. But yes, do send a super chat, or wait till I open up a free round and then put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and I will pull one of those at random. That's what I was saying. If you are here as part of the replay crew, you can still get a tarot reading from me. If you go across here to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, if you go across there, you can order a tarot reading from me, and you can also join our membership there as well. Right then, so let's go ahead and officially open up the first round this evening. So we're going to open up a round. It is time. Please do put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, just in case you're not sure. Here is a handy dandy little video of how to do it. We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God! Okay, let's have a look. Now, I know we are doing a love special, if you like, but we don't have to just focus on love. If you want to know what's happening in your work life, if you just want a general reading, you can do all of that as well. So you can do all of that. That is not a problem. Joe, we aren't taking free readings. I've literally just dedicated a free round. So hold on to the next one, my darling. Hold on to the next one. Right then, so I've got the questions 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 questions in on this round. So I'm doing what I normally do, and I'm just going to let the mouse decide, and we're clicking on this one. That is actually a reading. Violet, good evening, Violet. You know it's around love today, but may I ask, please, if anything will come, hang on, my husband's way to make some much needed extra money? I certainly can look at that for you, my darling. Don't worry about it being a Valentine's Day special. It's just because we did what did we do? We did a Chinese New Year. We were talking about on Sunday, just gone, because it was Chinese New Year. So yes, absolutely no problem at all. Good evening, Code Deb. Good evening, Code Deb. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Right then, so what am I doing? I'm changing cameras. I'm such a way out today. I don't know why. I'm in a really good positive mood. I think it's because, as I said earlier, I think it's because I saw the spring sun for the first time this year, and it's like, woo, woohoo, spring is coming. I mean, that means we're getting closer to my favorite season, which is autumn or fall. I love it. But yeah, spring or autumn. And anyway, I tell you what I'm going to do for you first of all, though, my darling, is I'm going to pull you a self-care card, Violet. So this is your self-care card. Okay, giving us an idea, or giving you an idea of maybe what you need to look at this week to help your inner self. What do you need to do to better look after your self-care this week? Let's have a look. We've got deep breathing. some breathing exercises. These are really useful if you feel stress for any reason, and you're struggling to cope with things, or just if things in general are feeling a bit OTT, then absolutely doing some deep breathing exercises can absolutely make a world of difference. I'm just going to put my coffee just there out of shot and bring there we go, Wispy's bell just to there. So as always, we cleanse the space with that there lovely bell, and we bring in Wispy. And we say to Wispy, good evening. Violet would like to know, is her husband going to make some much needed extra money? Is there something her husband can do, or is anything coming her husband's way to make some extra money? Okay, let's have a look. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do the where you are, what you need to know, and what the opportunity is, my darling. So let's just cut the deck for you. This is the Star Spinner deck. Here we go. So where you are, oh, we've got the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Chalices, as depicted in this suit. Now that's interesting. That's a nurturing energy. So I think it's all about, for you, it's about loving and supporting your husband through whatever's happening from an emotional standpoint. Okay, what you need to know, though, let's have a look. We've got the Six of Chalices, a community card. I'm saying, like, all of these are the emotional suits, the love suits, it seems to be. And, the Four of Coins. Okay, that's in the opportunity, but it is reversed. So it does say there's a little bit of stagnancy around money. So bearing in mind that with a 3-card reading, we're only really looking a little bit into the future. We can't really go too far with just 3 cards. But where you are, the Queen of Chalices. Now, the queens do make those emotional decisions. They are the ones that are the nurturing energy in the family. They try and keep everything ticking over. They are the ones who make the decisions. If you like, I always think of the queens as the power behind the throne, because as we know, they've got a certain way of whispering into the king's ear and making things happen. Now, in the what you need to know position, the Six of Chalices, the Six of Cups. Now, this is really interesting because this is talking about a community. So I don't know whether there's a way for a larger or more larger scale interaction with a community somehow, getting a community to support your husband. For example, if he's got his own business, maybe ask around at the local ... That could be a local church, a local, I don't know, parents' morning, coffee mornings, things like that. If there's anything that you've got as a side hustle that is community based, whether it's making and selling jewelry or whatever it is, if you've got an opportunity to maybe do that as well to help out, then maybe that's what you need to look at. But definitely, this could also be about asking family. If you're going through a really tough point at the moment and you just need a temporary, bit to get you over a particular hurdle, then just be aware that asking family and friends for a little bit of help, whether that is in the form of a loan or just, does anyone need some extra work picking up because your husband could do with that extra work, that might be a situation here as well. And then the opportunity. Now, the Four of Coins for me normally is about stability, but when it comes in reversed, as it has done, it's talking about stagnancy. So I don't think there's going to be a major uptick anytime soon. It does feel like this is going to be going on a little bit longer, my darling, but you just need to keep plugging away. This is the really interesting thing, the what you need to know. I think this community aspect is really important. So whatever it is that your husband does for work, or whatever it is that you do for work, or that where these side hustles can come in, that feels really important. Now, I know from talking to both Rufus, talking to both Neil and to Holland, that are moderators on this channel and friends of mine that have both got Etsy shops. Etsy can be really, really, really incredibly hit or miss in terms of sales and things. And so it's not necessarily, having a side hustle where you're selling on Etsy might not be for you. But then again, you might create something that's entirely 100% unique. And maybe that's what you're going to do. So, but yeah, hopefully, my darling, that helps. It doesn't feel, to answer your question, that there's anything coming up right now. But do just keep plodding on. and try and think what this 6 of chalices could be. This is about the emotions, friends, family, loved ones, in the wider sense, in that wider community. Ask for help, and I'm sure that if it's doable, that the people around you will be able to do that. But again, deep breathing exercises, my darling, at the moment. Deep breathing exercises, because I do think you're going to need it. I think that that stress is going to continue for a little while longer, my darling. But best of luck to you, and thank you ever so much for your question. Right, let me swap back over to the other camera. I can see there's lots of chat going on in the oh, there we go. Lots of chat going on in the live. Let's see what is going on. Let's have a look. So, you're the glue. You're the glue that holds it all together. Most queens are, my darling. Most queens are. So, yeah, absolutely. What I would say, my darling, is do keep looking at the wider community. Do keep looking around. Let's have a look. Shirley Maidor, hold on there 1 second, my darling. You need to wait until I open up another round. Sunshine does affect mental health. Absolutely, Holland. That little bit of spring sun that I saw yesterday is making me feel bloody wonderful, to be honest with you. It really, really, really is. Just knowing that we're on the way to spring, that is fantastic. Okay. I wouldn't recommend doing that, because it can be considered assault, believe it or not. But yes, Codeb, you got a text from one of your relatives overseas, and you told them you'd let them know by your travel plans by this Friday. Yay! Good. Hang on, what's this about? Patricia did a thing. Have I missed it? Oh, you fed your husband cat food and passed it off as corned beef hash. He loved it. You know what? We had someone come in where I used to be. We had somebody come in. Good evening, Mr. Lynn. Good evening, Amy, my darling. We had somebody once come and tell us at the warehouse that the dog food that they'd picked up, which was basically, it's called butternut box, right? And it's this frozen, well, it doesn't have to be frozen, but it was this dog food that is made out of like pork and butternut squash mixed. And she took it home. She came back into the warehouse and said to people, oh, that made a lovely shepherd's pie. That, have you got any more of it? But luckily, that particular brand is 100% safe for humans to eat. So there we go. So it is, these days, most dog food is actually better than some of the minced beef and onion things you get in tins. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, because it has to be. Neens, what's that? No worries. I know you didn't, my darling. I know you didn't. But right, shall we have? Oh, my darling, no problem. No problem, my darling. Side hustle and community. That's really where I think the cards are pointing at. And asking. So whatever your husband does, say if he's, so I've got this channel that I watch at the moment where they do, what's it called? Driveways. He power washes driveways, and he does it for free for a lot of people because he just likes to help, and he helps out. And he's got a YouTube channel, and people basically, his YouTube views cover the cost of whatever it would have been anyway. And that is absolutely fantastic, right? And he gets a lot of what's it called? Not reviews, a lot of referrals from doing somebody's lawn. And he talks a lot in some of his videos about asking for referrals and about, talking to friends and family about what it is you do, and actually saying it might not be that friend might not need somebody, but reminding them of the job it is that you do. If a friend of theirs or a work colleague of theirs says, oh, I need to get my driveway done, that connection, and just reminding people, it's not necessarily your friends that will employ you, but they might be able to pass that referral on. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. Codeb, I do drink kombucha for gut health. I love it. I absolutely, let me just, I'll tell you what, hang on 1 second. Hopefully I muted that. Okay. I do drink kombucha for gut health because the aero fermentation that they use for making kombucha kills away all of the bad bacteria in it, and all that's left is lactobacillus. And the lactobacillus is the same good gut health bacteria that they put in live yogurt. So it's phenomenally good for your gut biome, incredibly good for your gut health. When I had my 2 bladder cancer surgeries, when I had the first one, because they give you like a chemo wash through, and it gets rid of all of that. It gets rid of all of your gut biome, because it's just, that's what happens. And so basically the first surgery, I just had to get better, and my stomach was awful for a few days until it rebalanced itself. The second time, Rufus had been doing some research and basically bought me a load of kombucha, 1 litre bottles of it. And at the second time of surgery, I took it into hospital with me, and I swigged it like it was mother's milk. I drank it down by the gallonful. It'd bring me more every day, and I would drink it every day. Literally 1 litre a day I was getting through while I was in hospital, and I had no gut health issues, none whatsoever. Now, that is only my experience. I can't say that would happen for anybody else, but for me, that was all it took. And I've been a convert to kombucha ever since. So the brands I like, we've got one in the UK called Equinox, which is absolutely bloody amazing. I really like Equinox. And yeah, so that's what I do. Oh, thank you, Ed. Ed's on his way home, and then he'll come and jump on modding. Thank you, Ed. But any of the kombucha, it is, where did I see Holland's comment? It has got, so it's got like 0.001% alcohol because of the fermentation process. It's not, you'd have to drink like gallons of the stuff for it to even make, you know, 1% alcohol. You know what I mean? There's just no way that it would ever affect you in that way. Which is why it's safe for children to drink as well, because it is just that 0.0001, whatever it is. But there is something about the fermentation process that it's called a funk. And it's a little bit like if you drank grape juice versus wine. There is an element to it where you can taste that fermentation in the wine that obviously makes it alcoholic. You've got that same funk with the kombucha, and it is, at its core, it is just fermented green tea with flavorings, but it is incredibly good for your gut health. So yes, I totally recommend it. You've just tried it for the first time, expected to hate it, but you like it, and your stomach pains went away and fixed some other ongoing gut issues as well. Yes, as somebody who has intolerances to both wheat and dairy, and also some ongoing IBS type symptoms, kombucha, I now have either a bottle or like a can size bottle or a small can every other day, and sometimes every day, of kombucha from different varieties. But in the UK, the one that I prefer is called Equinox. Anyway, there we go. Good discussions this evening. That's a good self-care discussion. Right, so let's go on, and shall we open up another round? Shall we have some more tarot reading on this tarot reading night? Should we? I think we should, you know. So then, if you would like a tarot reading, you know what you need to do by now. Go ahead and put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. But if you want to guarantee that your question is up next, if you want to guarantee that, you can do so by sending a super chat. That is the easiest way. It comes through on a whole different screen, gets highlighted automatically, and it means I can read it a little bit easier. If you look just here, you can see just if you look in my, here we go, look, if you can look in my glasses, you can see there's actually a box. That's a blue box on my screen that has got the tarot reading and stuff highlighted. So yeah, anyway, it's much easier for me to see if you do that, but you don't have to, because we're opening up a free round. So go ahead, put your question in, starting with the word question, and I will read for it. I will read it. Does that make sense? I'll do the reading after this. Yes, indeed. Right, let's have a little look-see. And yeah, right. Okay, I've got 2 questions in. So what happens when I've only got 2 questions in? I grab one of the talismans from oh, we got the spirit one. That's apt, isn't it? So I grabbed one of the talismans from Witch Casket. I got an email today saying that their new box is 97%, I think it is, allocated, which means it'll be coming out in the post very soon, which is exciting. And yeah, so there we go. So Shirley Medor or Medor, Shirley, your question would be the symbol, and Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow of the Flower Fairies of the Peacocks. Yours will be the writing. So Witch Casket and Spirit. Okay, so we always do it heads up. Oh gosh, hang on a second. Just had a big pop-up screen. Right, well, had a pop-up screen pop up. Yeah, right then. And so there we go. And it is on the symbol. So that is Shirley's question. So, oh gosh, hang on, hold on. There we go. So Shirley, can you please tell me what will be the outcome of you and Jay? I will do, my darling. I will do. We'll do that right now. I'm going to alternate between the decks tonight because, again, look at the colors on this. Absolutely beautiful deck. Pinks and yellows. And this is just like springtime flowers, isn't it? Anyway, don't forget, running along the bottom of the screen, let me just highlight that so I don't lose it, Shirley. Running across the bottom of the screen are the Buy Me a Coffee membership members. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that makes sense. And normally every Sunday at 6 p.m. UK time, we have a members only chat. And the people that are trolling across at the bottom of the screen, those wonderful people are our channel members. Yeah, so if you would like to join our membership, basically what does membership give you? It gives you access to early access to some of the videos. There are videos coming this week, I promise. And oh, we've had a card flip and drop. So there we go. So one thing, first of all, this is going to be your clarifying card. Okay, so we've got the 5 of pentagrams or coins, pentacles, as your clarifying card. So I will get to that in just 1 second. But yes, you can join our wonderful membership just at the bottom of the screen there at buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic. Don't know why I did it like that, but anyway. Right then, so let's ring your bell. We cleanse the space and we bring in the lovely Wispy. Good evening to Wispy once more. So Sharon would like to know what is coming up between her and Jay. What is going to be the outcome? And we've got a little lovely red rose there as well. So a lovely red rose. What is coming up between Shirley and Jay? Let's have a look. So we're going to cut the deck. Ooh, okay, fairly sure. There's 2 little bit divots there. Look, didn't want to drop there. Thought about it, didn't want to drop. And so then let's have a look. What should we do? I think we'll do the same reading because that seems to be one of the most positive ones that Wispy likes. The Where You Are Now. Oh, the Magician. Okay, what you need to know. The Empress. Wow. And the Opportunity. What's that one? Oh, the 9 of Wands. Right then, let's have a look. So all of this is through the filter, of course, of the 5 of pentagrams. So first things first, what does the 5 of pentagrams mean? 5 of pentagrams is about being left outside of a situation. There's some really tough hurdles to overcome here, some really difficult position that you find yourself in with you and Jay. Now, Pentacles is normally career, work and finances, so it's normally money, but there is this element here about it being connected to the earth, which is connected to growth. So if there is if you're hoping to have some growth between you into coupledom or situationshipdom or whatever it is that you're looking for about that, then it kind of looks like that might be a bit of an issue because this is a bit of a sticking point when it comes to growth. But we'll see what the cards overall are looking like. So in the Where You Are Now position, we do have the Magician, but the magician in this case is reversed. So that's kind of the standard, and this deck is beautiful. It's kind of the standard magician, but you can see we've got these flowy gowns and these bright colors. But when it's reversed, it's talking about there being a little bit of manipulation, a little bit of control coming in. Now that isn't necessarily that you are being controlled. It could be that you are trying to control the situation between you and Jay. You're trying to, put very, 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 very firm boundaries in place. Boundaries are great, but if it's dictating what another person can do, then that can come across as a bit manipulative, a little bit even, a little bit gaslighting maybe at times. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that is going on, but there is that certain element with this card. So, and this is in the where you are. So just be careful, because this is reflecting on the relationship overall. Now, in the what you need to know, we've got the Empress. Now, you've been here long enough, Shirley. You know this is my favorite card of the deck. I especially like this version because it isn't linked in with childbirth. It is far more linked in with that abundance and that planetary growth and nature and that nurturing type vibe. This feels far more luxurious. It feels like you're out on the deck, on the veranda. There's a word for it that they used in the Golden Girls, and I can't remember what it was called. The Dio, the Dido, no, dildo, no, definitely not that. But yeah, so this is saying that what you need to know, you need to bring that abundance of like nurturing, loving energy in, right? And if this isn't going to be coming from Jay, because if Jay is in any way, shape or form controlling or manipulative, then you need to find this within and then with someone else, okay? Because what this is saying is that you absolutely need this energy, this Empress energy. She is the most wonderful card in the deck. Eventually I'm going to get a version of it tattooed on me. I just haven't quite found the version that I want forever yet. But she talks about that abundance, and she talks about that feeling of, keeping the family together. She's the matriarch. She keeps the community. She's the wise woman. She's the healer. She's the witch. She's the power behind the throne. All of these things, this is who she is. And this is saying that you need to bring this energy in. If it isn't in the relationship right now, then you need to try and bring this energy in. And if that doesn't work, then you still bring it in, and you bring it in for you, my darling. Because it feels like if this is going on, if there's a stagnancy and a little bit of a lack of growth in the relationship, then this is what you absolutely need to try and bring in. And if it's not with Jay, you need to do it with someone else. Why do I keep saying if it's not with Jay? Because of this card. This is the 9 of Wands, right? And this is in the outcome position. Now, if it was this way up, it might be a little bit better. In fact, it would be a hell of a lot better, because the 9 of Wands is talking about your confidence, your security, all of those lovely things. In a relationship reading, it's talking about how strong the relationship is, how strong the couple is, how you support one another, how you defend one another, how you love and care for one another even. And it's a really beautiful card. We've got this sort of pink full moon energy coming through. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely card. When it's like this, it's talking about there needing to be this defensive wall. You're having to put up this wall because the confidence isn't there. That trust isn't there. So whatever's happening with this, it feels really negative in the longer term. Now, this doesn't mean that this is guaranteed, okay? If this card, if this bringing in this Empress energy, this is kind of what's going to happen where we are, if that makes sense. This is the opportunity at this moment in time. If this reading is giving you a little bit of a warning sign, and you're going to start bringing in this Empress energy, I always like to think of this as Beyonce, not on stage, but my imagination of Beyonce with her kids. You know what I mean? It's like, you think I'm fierce on stage, you wait, you come for my kids. You come for my kids and you'll see how fierce I am. Do you know what I mean? It's that mother bear energy. And I think this is what you need to bring in. And if you bring this energy in and Jay is receptive to that, then there's no reason why this card has to be in play. It could very much end up like this, or be the 9 of cups, or the 9, you know, or whatever, the Lovers card. It can change, but at the moment it feels very much like unless you do something, it's not going to go particularly well, because your clarifying card is a little bit meh, and this outcome card is very meh. So and this reverse magician is also quite negative. So yeah, it does feel like, I don't think all is lost, but I think you need to bring this energy in, be your boss bitch, and see how that is perceived. Okay, my darling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull you a self-care card as well, because that is what we're doing tonight. So then we're going to pull you a self-care oracle card. What is it, Wispy? What is it? Oh gosh, what is it that Shirley needs for that self-care element for this week? Let's have a look. We will label the cards up. We'll drop it, and your card is a burning bowl ritual. This is phenomenal. This is a very, very classic witchy way of letting go of things. Now, it doesn't have to be people. It doesn't mean that you are getting rid of Jay. It could be anything. This could be that you are getting rid of past trauma that you carry with you, or self-doubt that you carry with you. This could be that you're getting rid of, you're letting go of old habits, old crutches that you relied on when you needed them, but you're still using to this day, even though you don't need that crutch and that support anymore. This is what you need to do, my darling. And literally what a burning bowl ritual is that you get a bowl. I wouldn't do this in your house. Do it outside. Do it in a metal container. Take precautions. But you have a bowl, you put paper in it in the bottom, and then you write on these slices of paper here, these pieces of paper here, you write the things you want to let go of. Okay, you write one thing per piece, and you put it into the fire, and you watch it burn. And as it burns and the ashes flicker up and the embers flicker up, then that item is gone from your life. It's a very simple but can be a very powerful ritual, and that is what the cards I recommend that you do. And I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really do. So thank you ever so much for your question, Shirley. And I hope that helps. Once again, I know it's not going to be the answers that you're looking for, but as I always say, I can only give you the guidance that you need, not necessarily the answers that you want. But hopefully, my darling, hopefully that does at least give you a little bit of guidance. Right then, let's have a look in the live chat. Ginger moments are the same as what aren't ginger moments? Oh, as blonde moments? Probably not, to be fair. Probably not the same. Although living with a ginger, I think they probably are the same. Very similar, maybe just with a little bit more passion, if that makes sense. Holland, hang on. Melcy Brown is slightly grey moments. Doesn't really have the same ring. It doesn't, does it, my darling? It doesn't really have the same ring. Alopecia falling out bald moments. I mean, that doesn't really have the same ring either, do I? I blame it all on ADHD or fibro now. I used to say I had blonde moments back when my hair was, my hair has always been this sort of Melcy Brown color. The reason it gets darker and redder in places because of all the hair dye that I've put on it over the years. The grey is now coming through, which I love. I love my grey coming through. Finally, I am evolving into my final form of the crone, the form that some would say I have been for all eternity. But yeah. Oh yes, thank you. Please like this video. If you haven't done already, like this video. Give it a good old thumbs up. If thumbs up, that would be nice. Thumbs up, up. And also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ding your bell so that YouTube notifies you whenever I go live. That would be lovely of you. Thank you very much. That's no problem at all, Shirley, my darling. Why was Amy laughing? Why were you laughing, Amy? Laughing till you cry. That's not good. You love the backs of this deck, really positive and bright, isn't it? Even the artwork. And you know me, I'm normally not one for the sort of the more simplistic artwork. I normally like it to be a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit. I mean, like this is that 9, right? There's not a lot of detail in the background. I normally like it a bit busier, but a bit more realistic, if you like, with things happening. And like, I love the floor, but it is just the back. But the artwork itself is still quite basic, but also very nuanced. So I love it. I just love this deck. I need to use it more often. Also, hang on a second. Let me pull this up on the other screen. This is the benefit now of having multiple screens. I'll tell you what, maybe I won't, because I don't want what was it called? The unending path. No, hang on. Oh no, I can't. Right. I will put this week, I will send it out to the members. I will put on the members page what this other deck is that I almost bought when I was in their London at Treadwell's. So yes, I will have a little look-see at that. And I'll put it in the thing, because I'm probably going to end up buying it. I've seen it. What's the Oracle deck I use? This is the Self-Care Oracle, even though for some reason my brain wants to say either Self-Cake or Self-Cave, just with the way that cursive is written. So yeah, this is the Self-Care Oracle. Use bay leaves right now what you want to get rid of and burn them. Absolutely. The dildo deck, that was the dildo deck is the Cosmic Cunt. That's what the dildo deck is. This tarot deck is the Queer Tarot. That's what this one is with these backs. The ones that I think it was Code Deb said are particularly pretty. That one is this one with these backs. This is the Star Spinner Tarot, which I did do a full flick through. So if you look on the channel, you'll see that it is absolutely on there, the Star Spinner Tarot. It is the Self-Care Oracle. So yes, right then, shall we do some more readings? Let's do some more readings. If you would like a tarot reading, what do you need to do? Oh, by the way, this reminds me. Oh, hello, Ed. Sorry, I meant to say hello. You're back into room. This reminds me, I have just bought some iron what are they called? Hand forged iron nails, because the last few weeks we've been having lots of little things go missing. Currently, my other pair of glasses has gone missing. In its case, it was somewhere, then it wasn't. Then my watch, I have to charge my watch. I haven't lost it. It's actually still in my pocket. I was going to put it on because it's pink, and then I forgot, so I will put it on now while I'm thinking. But anyway, I had to charge my watch up, right? Because it's a Samsung smartwatch. So I went to bed. It was still on my wrist. Hang on a sec, everybody. I tell you what, we'll open up the round now. So go ahead and open the round. I'll put the banner on. There we go. So that makes it official. The round is open while I'm just telling this little story time, right? So I go ahead and put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, by the way, everybody. Now, so I went to bed, realized I had it on my wrist, got out of bed, went back in the lounge, put it on its little charging stand, right? So it was absolutely in the lounge. Now, I remember doing this because the way the watch charges is it's got two little doodads this end that have to be sat in its little cage, right? So I'd put it initially the wrong way around, and then I had to put it in properly. So I remember doing that. I then woke up the next day and went, I'll go and get my watch on, as you do, went into the lounge, wasn't on the charging dock. And I said to Rufus, have you seen my watch? No. So I looked underneath the table it's on, looked everywhere, couldn't see it, walked into the kitchen, and it was in the kitchen on top of the eggs. I hadn't even been in the kitchen yet. So that's one thing that happened. Yesterday, Rufus was in bed. Something that felt like either something jumping up onto the bed or something tapping the bed happened. He said it felt like either a child tapping the bed or a cat jumping up or something like that. And then today, I was in the... no idea, Ed. No idea. It got moved. Then I was in letting the dogs out for a wee, and I could hear this noise, and I was like, what is that noise? And I couldn't tell whether it was coming from upstairs, like with the neighbors, or from outside or something, but it wasn't. I walked into the kitchen, and the Amazon Alexa in the kitchen was playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star for no reason. Nobody had triggered it. No, nothing had happened. Literally, I'd stood at the doorstep. Rufus wasn't messing with me. No, Rufus wasn't messing with me. He felt the bed go. That's something that he picks up on a lot. But no. Your house whites want acknowledgement. The house spirits, possibly. Well, I'll tell you what I'm getting is a load of bloody lead, hand-forged lead nails. That's what I'm getting, because we all know that lead keeps the fae away. So that is what I am doing, because it's getting increasingly now. Increasingly, that is happening. So yes. Anyway, a little bit of witchcraft there for you. A little bit of witchiness happening in the household this week. Anyway, I've got 2 questions in. Don't forget, it is time. If you want a question, you go ahead and put it into the live chat right now. I'm going to hit this so I can take a big old slurp of my coffee, and then we'll do the next reading. There we go. What did I say, Holland? I thought I said iron. They're hand-forged iron nails. Did I say steel or something? I might have said the wrong thing, but they are iron. I've also paid £15 for an iron nail that allegedly came from a Viking ship. But it is from somebody. Oh, I said lead. No, not lead. Definitely not lead. No, definitely iron. But I did also, as I say, I bought this iron one, this iron nail that's come from a Viking vessel from York, and so yeah, that'll be with me soon as well. It's about yay big. So I'm excited to have that, just because. Anyway, right, let's have a look at the questions. Where are we? Question. So I've still only got 2 questions. Mr. Lynn, you can come and get your question, Amy, on the members live on Sunday if you want. But I will do you I've got you and I've got Flower Beauty. What will happen between you and him in the future, says Flower Beauty. So where's my talismans gone? Oh, there they are. I was about to go, oh no, look, now the talismans have disappeared. Do you know what? The weirdest thing that we've ever had happen, and it was when I was 16, I was at a friend's house, and it was at a Star Trek fan club. Okay, I know, I'm a nerd, can't help it, always have been, always will be, right? And so I'm at a Star Trek fan club. Friend came in, put her keys on the table, just like that. We all saw her do it. She went off and made a cup of tea, blah, blah, blah. We're all chatting about whatever we're chatting about. Did you see this film? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I really like that. Oh, we should do this. We should do that. And she came back into the room, like half an hour later or something. And she went, oh, has anyone seen my keys? And we all went, oh, yeah, they're on the table. And they'd gone. And it was the first time. And she basically said, oh, those effing fae. And it was the first time I'd been aware that they are tricksters, because up to that point, I hadn't really had much to do with the fae. My very early witchy stuff that I was around during my around that sort of time, actually, and before with my nan, was all about spirit. So I'd never really picked up on fae or anything about that. I just thought the fae were fairies, lovely little friendly fairies, but apparently not. And yes, so that was my very first experience of something nicking them, if that makes sense. There's going to be every front door and every windowsill across the entire apartment, the flat, across everywhere. Every single one is going to get covered. So yeah. Anyway, right. So we've got Flower Beauty. You shall go on my first whistle. You will be the 0 spirit symbol. And Mr. Lynn 67, you will be the spirit word, if that makes sense. So you're the writing, and Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow, you are the sigil. Okay, so then we spin it. Oh, there you go. What is that on? It's landed on the words. So there you go, on the words. And so that means, Mr. Lynn, 67, you get a general reading, my darling. Abso-friggin-lutely. We can do that for you. So I just used that one. Now we're using this one. There we go. I love alternating decks. I know, right? I did have to, spoilers, or not spoilers, behind the scenes info. I did have to, there we go. I did have to take both decks into the lounge earlier while I was having a coffee earlier this afternoon and just do a quick flick through just to remind myself of what they were. But yes, it should keep the Fae under control. Hopefully, you're right. It should do. Oh, there we go. That should be a thing that happens. Right, let's have a look. You're curious about my old lady throw type of thingy. What old lady throw? You mean this? It's just a scarf. What old lady throw type of thingy? What are you talking about, Ed? What are you talking about? Right. Tell me what you're talking about on the live chat. I can't see it right now because I'm on the screen for Amy. Right then, let's have a look. A general reading for Amy. Here we go. We'll do a past, present, future, what the energy coming into the last month has been, or what the energy around this month is, and what the energy coming up is. If that makes sense. Right then, so the energy from last month. Oh, it is the 10 of chalices, or the 10 of cups. Now that's interesting. This is reversed. Lots of emotions have been in play, Amy. Lots of emotions, lots of, I would say, overflowing with emotions that are a little bit on the well, which a lot of people would see as negative, but sadness, grief, anything like that you've been going through, things that people would typically say aren't positive emotions, but all emotions are there for a reason, right? If we're feeling something, we're feeling it for a reason. If we're feeling sadness and loss and grief, it's because we've lost somebody that we care about. If we're feeling, you know, anger, it's because we've been wronged in some way. So I think there's been a lot of emotion in the last month. So let's see if that is continuing through into the present. Possibly we've got the King of Chalices coming up. Now this is, look at this wonderful dragon. Now this is upright. Now the King energy is quite authoritative, but again, it's still in chalices. It's still in that emotional state. This is upright. So this is either somebody that is coming to your aid, or somebody, or it could even be you getting in touch with your inner dragon. And you know me, I'm all about my dragons. And this is a beast of a possibly Japanese, actually, rather than Chinese, but very much a beast of a dragon, an Asian dragon there. Look at that. You can see the crown. Absolutely bloody wonderful. So if this is what your energy is around now, it's kind of that rebounding back. It's that, really, you say I can't do this? Fucking watch me energy. Do you know what I mean? So it's either somebody in a position of authority or you rising up to that position yourself. And the future, the Two of Swords, interesting. So there's going to still be a little bit of fallout to come. There is still some negativity that, or some difficulty that is still needs to be sorted, if that makes sense. So yeah, if let me have a look. If this is from somebody else, if this is somebody else's energy coming in, then I think there's an issue, because it feels like it's going to lead to some problems. I don't know. Let me just, I'm going to clarify this. Wispy, we want to clarify what this two is. Who is this two relating to? Okay, is this, because you know me, the way I see twos is that normally it's couples, but is this two related to the King energy? Is basically what we're looking at. Who is the two? What is the two all about? The Two of Swords. Let's have a look with the Queer Tarot deck. Right. Here we go. So we've got the 6 of chalices, lots more chalice energy coming up, and we've got the 2 of chalices. So it is. Are you having some relationship issues? Right, I'm feeling I need to pull a third. And we've got the 10 of swords. Are you having some relationship issues at the moment, Mr. Lynn, 67? Because it does feel like there's something going on, either a fallout with a loved one or a friend, or it could be a really, really close family member. Sometimes this energy could be father image, or it could be husband, it could be best friend. It's something here around somebody that's really close to you, but kind of, how can I put it? Like maybe a little bit controlling, maybe a little bit like what they say goes. So if it's a best friend, it's somebody who's, you know, that type of best friend, you know what I mean? That sort of annoying kind of person. But because of the way it's coming up, I think it's either going to be husband or father energy, particularly with these 3 cards. The reason I'm saying that is because the 6 normally is about community or family. Okay, and you can see like we've got these 2 people here, but over in the distance we've got this figure. Okay, so over in the distance, so it's almost like these are the young'uns having a lovely time in the garden, and then there's this figure which to me, I always think that they look balding, which again feels like it's either the gardener of this giant castle mansion place, or it's like their father. Do you know what I mean? There's some sort of energy here. So I think this is probably more father than husband energy. And then we've got this 2 of cups. Is that, again, it's that really strong connection that you're only going to get with a long-term partner, or that potentially that father or mother type, or possibly an older sibling type vibe, but it's close family. And then the 10 of swords is the ultimate in, it's not even sleepless nights. Look, it is being chained, it is being hurt and stabbed with 1,000 blades. It's the death of 1,000 cuts, right? And the people that tend to do this, the people that hurt the most, are the ones that are the closest to us, unfortunately. And with this being reversed, I don't think this is you. I don't think this is your causing. It feels like this is coming from somewhere else. And I do think all of this is leading to this being, whoever this king is, whether it's father, husband, older brother, it's more likely to be the father or husband energy. It's like there's some cross swords to come, right? There are some cross words to come. It feels like there's a certain element of wanting to do what's best for the family, or wanting to help the wider family in some way. This really strong emotional bond, like these 2 are polar opposites almost. Like the people that hurt us the most are the ones we care about the most. And so that is that. I do think there's that connection here. And then this feeling of the 10 of swords, when it's reversed, is like you've got no choice. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Do you know what I mean? So it's like if you act and do something that is responding to a situation, yeah, that's more likely, right? So if you respond to a situation and you actively act on that situation, you step in and make some sort of change, you're damned, right? If you let that situation play out and you're a distant observer, you're not involved, you allow things to play out as they will, then you should have stepped in. However, if you step in, it's none of your business. You should leave it, you should leave it alone. Do you know what I mean? It's that vibe that these are giving me. So yeah, I'm really sorry that this doesn't feel more positive. I do think this is only a temporary situation though, because whatever this connection is, it's like tons and tons and tons of negative emotion at the moment. I think this is more sadness rather than anger. So it's something where you've been put into a difficult position with this, and whatever it is that you do, you're kind of buggered. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense, my darling. But I do feel this is only temporary. Okay, I do honestly feel, Wispy. I know we're jumping left, right, and center, Wispy, but I'm going to pull the fourth card for future months to come. So this is what's on its way, and we want to know what's lingering over here. Okay, we've got the Four of Swords. So this is going to stick around for a little while, my darling. Okay, it's going to stick around for a little while, because the Four of Swords, in this case, you've got this Sleeping Beauty element. So I don't think it's going to get any worse. It's not going to cause any, massive, this isn't a divorce, or this isn't going to lead to a complete, what's it called where you get, like, famous people do it when they don't speak to their families and they cut themselves off. It's like divorcing yourself from your family. I don't think that's going to be this, but it feels like there's going to be crosswords, and this is older sibling, I would say, older sibling or father or husband, long-term lover, like long-term partner, somebody who's been in your life for a heck of a long time, because it's that thing of, only somebody who knows you incredibly well can get under your skin without you going, do you know what? Fuck off. I don't have time for this. Do you know what I mean? So it's somebody that is so close that they can get under your skin for a length of time without you going, just piss off. I don't need this right now. And then I feel like we're doing multiple readings here, but anyway, what we're going to do, Mr. Lynn, is I'm going to pull you a self-love or self-care oracle card. It's a self-care oracle, is officially what it's called. So let's see. So Wispy, what does Mr. Lynn 67, otherwise known as our lovely Amy, what does she have to do? What does she need to focus on for her own well-being with this coming storm, if you like? Let's have a look. Be still. Just let it be. Let it be. Let it be. That was supposed to be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. That was supposed to be that, but I sang the wrong tune earlier. But yeah, so be still. Let it wash over you, right? Whatever this is, it feels like it's the sort of energy that will pass. And it feels like it's like you're doing whatever it is you're doing for the greater good, but that isn't necessarily going to be seen by whoever you're doing it for. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, just be still. If the vile words come, let them go over your head. Don't take it personally. I'm intrigued because I'm getting this thing. Hang on, I'll tell you what, let me come off of this, because I've got the strongest feeling that I might have an idea what this is in relation to live. Thank you, Patricia. I know I've got a thing though. He's burned all his bridges, his family would have. Okay. Oh, dealing with your dad, right? Okay, dealing with your dad. Just moved him into a new place. Okay, is it his own place or is it sheltered? Because it feels like, do you know what I'm getting? My mum, bless her, God rest her, she's whatever. She passed a long time ago now, so eight years ago. But my mum had dementia and she was in a care home. And sometimes she would not know who I was. She would call me, I would be her sister, her mum, her aunt. I would be, occasionally I was her husband, occasionally I was my own sibling. Sometimes I was me. She'd get the exact person wrong, but she'd know it was in the file marked family. Do you know what I mean? So it's like she wasn't going, oh, hi, this is, I don't know, this is Billy Bob Joe Wilson, who I went to school with. She wasn't doing that. It was always, hi, this is, and her sister's name, or this is the other sister's name. This is me mum. And she would introduce people. Oh, me mum's here. Oh, me sister's here. Oh, me husband's here. it would just be hit or miss as to who that fell on, but it would always be a family member, right? For me, that was enough. Right? I knew that it was just the little mix up in her brain was getting that final decision as to which one of the family it was. Confused, right? My sibling would absolutely correct her, get upset about it, cause all these huge issues. And I was just like, look, it doesn't matter. She's not doing the whole, I don't know who you are. She's not doing the whole, I've got no idea, like, who is this person? Get away from me. She wasn't doing that. It would just be that she would call my sibling, should do the same thing. She'd go, oh, my mum's come. And my sibling would go, no, you're my mum. You're not, I'm not your mum. And then that would confuse my mum. And she'd go, oh, I know you're not. You're my mum. Because in her head, that word was meant daughter for that moment. Do you know what I mean? And there's Wispy's given me this memory. So I don't know whether your dad is going into care, into a nursing home where there's that sort of situation, or whether it's something where he's been moved, but it's almost like it's against what he didn't want to move for some reason, even though it's in his best interest. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like he's fallen down the stairs 5 times in the last year. So you've got him a bungalow. Absolutely lovely place, but he didn't want to move because he, for whatever reason. That's what it feels like, Mr. Lynn. But anyway, hopefully, my darling, I haven't. Thank you, Ed. I know. Hopefully, I haven't waffled on too long about that. But yeah, anyway, hopefully that helps. And shall we go for some more readings? Let me know if that helps, Amy, because again, Sunday, you're not at that place yet. No, but it's precursor to that. This is what Wispy's given me. It was precursor to that because my mum was adamant she was never going to go in a home. And then she had no choice because she got to that point. But yeah, it's that sort of thing. This is what Wispy was giving me. This idea of my mum getting words and names and people confused. That is what it was giving me. So if it's on that line, then that makes sense. Good evening to Lou Ho. Yes. Lou Who. Oh, thank you, my darling. It's going to be more difficult. It's going to be some harshness, but just be still. Let it go over your head. That's why that be still comes up. Harsh words and words of frustration aren't meant for you. They're just expressing frustration, even though it may be, you're a big old bitch and I really hate you and what you're doing. Just be still. Let it go over your head. It's just the frustration talking. But anyway, Lou, my darling, good evening to you. We are, what are we? Oh, an hour and 22. Jesus Christ, it's 8:20. No wonder the mods are kicking off at me, sending me the ding dong bells. Yes, indeed. I love that picture of Ed. I just think it's so funny. Ed, you're just such a funny guy. You are a funny chap. You make me smile. You do. Right then, should we have another reading round of readings? Let's do that, shall we? Let's do that. If you would like a reading, go ahead and do the things. You can get a reading for free because we are opening a round. So go ahead and put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and I will grab one of those at random. Or you can guarantee your reading is next by sending it as a super chat. Do one of those two things right now. Excuse me. I really should not drink as much coffee when I come on the lives because I swallow so much water because I talk so much. But send it as a super chat or put it in the live chat as a question, starting with the word question, and I will grab one of those at random. Either way, do the things now. Yes, indeed. We will get to some readings. Let me just have a look. By the way, I do have to just say, our members, no, Our moderators, that's the one. Our moderators are bloody lovely on this channel, as many of you know. And so I do just need to do a very quick little shout out to two of our moderators. I always feel bad because it's like I always shout out to Neil and to Holland because of their Etsy shops, and I never really shout out to Patricia and Ed. So I want to give a massive thank you to Patricia and Ed, and for just coming on and helping and being so bloody wonderful, and also give a big old shout out to Neil and Holland, who both have Etsy shops. And so if you want to support members of the Beyond Authentic team and you're in the market for either of these items, you could always go and support them.
Are you a fan of 80s horror but want something different? Do you like modern horror but the regular magazines leave you a bit cold? Are you a fan of that schlocky horror that no one else seems to talk about? Check out Necronomicon, the UK horror zine from Etsy.com. Just search for Necro Neil.
Blue Chalice is a small business making crafty creations for the Witcher community. From jewellery to wall hangings, witch bells to altar tiles. Why not have a look at bluechalice.etsy.com. So, yes, indeed. It looks like I've got two questions in. Excuse me, everybody. It looks like I've got two questions in. And so, as always with two questions, I will find a talisman. Has it always been the... Oh, look again. Spirit. There we go. So, I'm literally holding it like this to the camera, but down here, and obviously you can't see that because I haven't turned the camera on yet. Rubbish. I am rubbish. Right then, so we will do that. There's so many moving parts that make these live streams work, you see. Right, so the first question was by Elaine Butler. Good evening, Elaine. I don't recognize your name, so welcome very, very much to the channel. You want a reading for your partner's career. And Renata, you've got the second question in. You've pulled 3 cards and you want an interpretation. Okay, my darling. So then I will have a look at either of these. Hang on, let me take that off the screen. So then, Elaine, you will get the symbol, which is the spirit symbol. And Renata, you will get the words, the witch casket spirit, because this is the witch casket talismans. So then let's see. As always, we flick it up and where it lands, that person gets the reading when we've only got 2 in. It's on the spirit side again. So we've had 3 today. 1's landed this way and 2 have landed that way. So there you go. Renata, it's your question. So let's have a look. Probably, hang on. I don't need to do cards this way. So bear with me 1 second. Elaine, do me a favor, my darling. Select and copy your question because we're going to open up another round. So just hold off on, don't go anywhere, because I don't actually need the cards for this one. So, Renata, you pulled 3 cards, the 2 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, and the Hanged Man. Could I interpret? Let's find them. Hang on a second. Right, this might take... Hang on. This might take a few seconds, but let me entertain you. No, let me find them. Of course, this will be the one time that having the non-traditional decks don't really help. 2 of Swords, 9 of Wands, and Hanged Man. 2 of Swords, 9 of Wands, Hanged Man. 2 of Swords, that's the 8 of Wands. 2 of Swords, 9 of Wands, Hanged Man. 2 of Swords, hang on, no. 2 of Swords, there we go. We've got the 9 of Wands. So we've got 1 of them. Bear with me, everybody. 2 of Swords, there's that one. And then we need the Hanged Man. Hang on. I'm going through as fast as I can. You can't catch me. I'm the Hanged Man. Hold on, everybody. Bear with. Was it in that order, Renata? I imagine it would be, because if it wasn't, knowing you, you wouldn't have put in that order. If no, it's all right, my darling. I'd just say, look how beautiful this Hermit card is. Look how beautiful. Look at that for a Hermit. Isn't it wonderful? Just such a lovely deck, this deck. Right, sorry, here we go. Keep going. Don't get distracted, Lisa. I don't think I've ever done a flip through of this deck, actually. Maybe I need to do a full flick through. It's going to be the last card, isn't it? It's going to be the very last card. Yeah, so that was in that order and they were all upright. Fantastic. That makes it a little bit easier. There we go. The Hanged Man. I found it. Right then. So let's have a look. What was your question you were asking? Because quite often, there we go. And were you using a particular spread? So let me have a quick look. So I am going to swap the camera. Right, I'm staying on the live chat, Renata, so you can let me know about the questions. So we've got the, hang on. You pull 3 cards, 2 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, and the Hanged Man. So the 2 of Swords is about crosswords, basically. So it's about there being a disagreement, an argument with somebody, or crosswords with somebody, a falling out, and things like that. So it's talking about there being this conflict that you're having with another person. It's not in the wider context, so it's not like you're falling out with everybody over here, or this is turning to shit. It's like there's crosswords between you and your brain, come on, I just had the word, your nemesis. It's like you're both going for the PTA, and it's like you want to be the head of the PTA, and then this other, Becky's mum, she wants to be head of the PTA, and then it's between the two of you, and you fight, and you organize a fundraiser, a cook-off, cake day, and then this other one brings it along, and they bring it. Do you know what I mean? So it's not with yourself. No, it is always, for me, the 2s are always with somebody else. Or the only way it could be with yourself is if you are in absolutely split down the middle, can't decide between 2 options, and that is driving you up the wall. That's the only way it can be if it's crosswords with yourself, my darling. The 9 of Wands is talking about, for me, it's talking about confidence, and it's talking about being very confident, having your self-esteem, having everything feel that you are able to take the bull by the horns, you're able to live your life happily, and all of those things, right? So you're able to manifest the things you want to manifest. You're feeling confident, you're feeling, you're living your best life. But there is a slight element of you've got your defenses up. Everything is ready. You are feeling strong and supported, largely because you've got your defenses in place. And that is what's giving you that confidence. And then the Hangman is about whatever it is you were asking about will come later. Okay. So the knowledge, the answers, the change in the situation, whatever it is, it will come later. It will come at the right time. There's a lot of like, how can I put it? There's a lot of delays, and this could be second guessing something. So it's like, if you're second guessing something, then you're waiting. Does that mean you want it enough? Do you know what I mean? It's like you're how can I put it? I mean, procrastinating, that Patricia's put in the chat, is quite a good thing, right? That's quite a good word for this coming up. But again, it depends on the question, and it kind of depends on what you wanted the 3 to represent. If this is past, present, future, then this is, self-doubt and or arguments with someone else. This would be confidence in where you are now, and this will be waiting for the future, either a wait that is being imposed on you, or something you're saying, I'll get to that later down the line. Do you know what I mean? You've been very depressed, but you feel you need to change, but cannot find the door. Okay. This will be the hangman then. This hangman card is about waiting until the time is right. But the problem with the hangman is that you don't know yourself when the time is right. Do you know what I mean? And it's like you could remain hanging there for a long time, but it's at your own choice. Like, this rope is not tied. It's very loose around the foot. You're just hanging there by your own volition. At some point, it's time to get off the bloody tree and say, do you know what? I've hung upside down. I've got all the knowledge, these sparkly stars and this radiating sun. I've got all the knowledge I'm ever going to get. It's what is it they say? It's time to get off the pot, piss or get off the pot, or poop or get off the pot. Do you know what I mean? And it's that's what this is referring to. I think the 9 is talking about your confidence. Again, if you said it was upright, that's a positive card. It's saying that you are in the back of your head, even though you might have had crosswords with yourself, and even though the decision was difficult because you said crosswords with yourself. I'm pointing to the screen now. You can't even bloody see me doing it, can you? But that could be crosswords with yourself. You're more confident now. You just need to start taking action, because this in the future is great if you're waiting for something in particular, but the sacrifice element of this card can be, like, it can turn around and bite you on the bum. Do you know what I mean? You can be self-sacrificing for too long. So that's what I would say with that, my darling. But yeah, hopefully that makes a bit of sense. And thank you for your very interesting question. I know that you do read the cards as well, so I'd be interested in what your initial interpretation of the cards were. But anyway, thank you ever so much for your question. Right then, let's throw open the round again. Let's throw open the hang on, I'm on the wrong I'm always on the wrong bloody screen. There we go. Let's throw open the round again. Let's go round again. If you would like a tarot reading, go ahead and do the things. There's 2 ways to get a reading on this channel. The first is to send it via a super chat, or you can wait until I open up a free round like I'm doing right now, and you can put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and I will pick one of those. How rude, I pressed it too soon. I will pick one of those at random. Okay, so whichever way you want to do it, go ahead and do that now, and I will read your question and read for your question very soon. Okay, it is a quiet night again tonight. Elaine Butler, yours is the only question in. Holland, you're being fantastic. Don't worry. If you're tired, head off, my darling. You don't have to wait here. You've been absolutely fantastic. Just popping in and helping out. So thank you very much. If you need to get off, you just get off. Don't you worry about us here. There's nobody here but us chickens. I don't know where that came from, but you know. There you go. So then, Elaine, let's have a look. A question for your partner. Hang on a second. Right, so I'm on the doodah screen. Let me change the cameras. Let me change the camera. Right then, so, oh, we've just used that deck. So we're going to use this deck. Hang on. There we go. And we're bringing Wispy. So, Wispy, Elaine Butler would like to know, they would like a reading for their partner Gavin's career, please. So, we want to have a reading for partner Gavin's career. Okay, we can certainly look at that for you. Oops. That's 3 cards being thrown. That's my dodgy shuffling rather than it being a a doodah, if that makes sense, rather than it being a symbol or a clarifying card or anything like that. Jesus. I did say when one card flops, didn't I? Which technically that did jump. Now the question is, which way did it jump? I'm going to read it as a upright because I can't guarantee which way that fell. But this is the moon. I know, right? It doesn't look like the standard moon, does it? That's why I like this deck. It's but it is the moon. So this is the moon card. The moon. So let's have a look. The moon then becomes the card that we are filtering the reading through. Okay, so basically what do I mean by that? I mean, this is your clarifying card. All of the decisions, all of the meanings, there we go, get filtered through the moon. So the standard image of the moon, we've got the actual, come on, I've pressed it. You've got the moon itself radiating in the background. Sometimes you have a hare, but normally we have a jackal and a dog, or a wolf and a dog, or some sort of mix of those type animals, and either a lobster, sometimes it's a scorpion or a crab. And this one, we've only got the white hare, but that is in its own mythology. With the moon gazing hare is its own mythology, but this whole deck feels very anime, right? So it's probably got lots of other connections that are beyond me, but we're going just with the moon. Now then, let's have a look. So we'll go with for career, I tell you what, we'll go with, I'm just looking on my board. Career opportunity, okay, the career challenge, and the outcome. So this is what interesting. Okay. The opportunity, the obstacle, the challenge, and the outcome. Right. Okay. For career. So first of all, we're filtering through the moon. So the moon is talking about, it could be that this is within a month. It could be that we're talking about some sort of spiritual connection. So it depends what Gavin's career is. If it's anything in the psychic arts, then this is very, 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 very well suited. If it isn't, then this is talking about, this is for the next 28 days, because we're looking at lunar cycles. Okay, so there's something here connected to that moon, either the psychic art, or it's bringing in a time scale. Because it's here as the clarifying card, it just helps us answer, either one of those two questions. I did realize I've not put my light back on. There we go. So then, in the career opportunity, we've got the 10 of Wands. Now, this is normally quite a really positive card, but it does come with a bit of a warning, the 10. So the 10 of Wands is all about confidence, self-esteem, how you feel about yourself, all of that. And the 10 normally would be a really positive thing, right? A lot of tarot readers will tell you this is really positive, but it does come with a caveat, because for me, the 9 is when something is full. The 10 is when it's overflowing. Now, with the Wands, overflowing confidence can sometimes come across as arrogance. Okay. And I'm not saying that Gavin is, but what I'm saying is that this next month to come, with whatever career opportunities are coming, just pare back and just stay confident, and don't veer into that, oh, I can do everything, like you don't know nothing about nothing. Remain positive, but just bring it down a little notch. If anything, it's kind of saying, be a little bit humble. Don't get this if Gavin gets an opportunity this coming month where he knows everything about this thing, right? For example, if I was asked to go and do a tarot reading or talk about tarot somewhere, right? I've got 29 years experience in this. It would be very easy for me to assume that everybody knows, what the cards are and all of that. what I would have to do is start and think, if somebody in the audience is an absolute beginner, what do they need to know? How do I get it from their perspective, not mine? Otherwise, it just looks like there's me going, oh, yes, and then this. Do you know what I mean? So just be aware of that. It does feel like there's a good, strong possibility coming up within the career within this month. Okay, so there is something that is bubbling away. When it arrives, just be a little bit more positive, a little bit positive without being arrogant. Reason I'm saying that as that warning is because the challenge to the career opportunity is the Two of Swords. This is crosswords, cross swords. It's crosswords basically. And again, look, we've got this moon. So this is talking. This is definitely this month. This is definitely flagging this, right? The crosswords, this is either something that is said gets misinterpreted, or there becomes almost like a slanging match between two people. It's very much in an interpersonal connection, a personal conversation or a work quote or something where, you know, you're saying, or not you, but Gavin is saying, oh yeah, of course I can do that. And it's like it's a flippant off the cuff remark that gets misinterpreted. So it's really important that, you know, confidence and not arrogance is shown with whatever this opportunity is, whether it's being asked for a quote for something, whether it's being asked to talk about something, take on a promotion, whatever it is, even if it's a job interview for a brand new job, whatever it is, stay a little bit humble. You know, this is not the time for a brag. A little bit of a humble brag might be okay, but don't go wading in all guns blazing. And then the outcome we've got the Hangman reversed. Now the Hangman, I mean, normally I say I'll play you what the standard looks like, but this is so close to the standard, but I will play it. Look, here we go. I pressed the button. So the standard Hangman is very similar to this. So it is just that person hanging on the tree. In some traditions, it's Odin hanging on the tree of life, the Yggdrasil, awaiting the knowledge of the runes. In this deck, it's more like a circus performer, you know, ye oldie worldy, old time circus performer, but it means the same thing. It's talking about a sacrifice, long-term waiting game, playing that waiting game. So although this is within the month, you might not get the answers, or Gavin might not get the answers within the month. Okay, be patient. But because this is reversed, be patient, but after a while, step in and try and get those answers. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, yes, be patient. Yes, sacrifice a bit of time, get the knowledge that's needed, get the you know, wait for the right answers to come. But also, if it gets to the point where those answers definitely are not coming, there is definitely a delay in the system, get back in touch. Do not just delay, and do not leave it for, oh, they'll write to me whenever, they'll ring me whenever. Chase things up. Okay, give it enough time. There's a bloody moth in here. Give it enough time so that things can play out, but then step in and chase it. Okay, and hopefully that makes sense in some way. Obviously I don't know what Gavin does, but this does feel like it's either contract work or new contract or something like that is coming up. But anyway, Elaine, I hope that helps, my darling, and that is going to be your reading. So yes, let me know in the comments if that helps. Right, let me come back onto the screen. Let me turn that one off. Doobie, put the cards back in the deck. Let's have a look in the chat. He was let go from his job. I'm so sorry to hear that, Elaine. It does feel like there's a new opportunity coming this month, right? It really does feel like this month. Tell him to get out there, be a little bit, as far as the CV and things like that are concerned, be a little bit humble. That Hanged Man will be talking about waiting for results, waiting for interviews, all of that. But don't feel afraid to ring up and say, hi, I've applied for XYZ. I'm just wanting to see, you know, I haven't heard back yet. I'm just wanting to see what's happening. So yeah, have a little look at that, because that might be an option. Right then, yeah, I know. I've got this as well, Holland. There are some times where even my other half, as amazing as he is, he'll say, oh, if you're feeling tired, just take it easy. And I'm like, I can't, because if I do that, I'll never do anything, because I'm always either in a particular state of pain or a particular state of tired or a particular state of both, right? There's never a moment where I'm not one of those three or a Venn diagram of all three at once. So yeah, sometimes you've just got to kind of keep going till you run yourself ragged, I guess. Anyway, let's have a look. So we got time for one more reading, everybody. One more question. So if you would like to nab that last spot, then do please go ahead. You can do one of two things. You can either put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, or you can send it as a super chat, which will nab that last spot. If you go for the free reading, then that's absolutely fine. You can do that. But as I say, I will grab one of those questions at random. If you want to nab the last spot for this evening, then the only way to do that is to send it via a super chat. Just in case you don't know what I'm saying, the details are all on a lovely banner going across the bottom of the screen right now, and on this handy dandy little video that I did make sometime earlier, just in case you need a visual representation. Okay, so then let's have a look in the live chat. First of all, we've got nothing as a super chat. So let's have a look in the live chat and see where we are. We have, hang on, it looks like we've got 3 questions in. So then with 3 questions in, I'm going to scroll around and around and around and around, and we're going to pick this one. Oh God, hang on. I'm on the other. I'm on another screen. I'm on my second screen. Right, there we go. I try and keep the mouse on this one monitor rather than on my backup monitor. Right then, here we go. We're going with this one. Paridi Agrawal. Let me highlight that and put it in the other section so I can read it. A reading for your what? Reading for your academics. General reading for studies, fulfilling goals. Okay, my darling, we can do that for you. And yeah, let me just change camera. And we're using this deck for the last time. So this is the Queer Tarot deck. It's that's not me calling it that. This is what it is actually called. So then, let's claim the space as always and bring Wispy in. So Wispy, Paridi Agrawal would like to know a reading for their academic future, for their studies. How are they going to be going for all of that? So it's a 3-card reading. Oh gosh, everything's falling out of my hands. That's because this is the 6th one tonight. So oh no, that was 1 card, wasn't it? That was 1 card. Is that right? Or was it that one? No, it was 2 cards. Right. Okay. So we'll do one more. Oh, God. Wispy, I'm so sorry. My hands are getting tired. Right. Here we go. There we go. And we're going to cut the deck. Don't forget, everybody, if you would like a reading whilst I am not here on the YouTubes, you can always do so by going to buymeacoffee.com Beyond Authentic, or you can go to my website, which is beyondauthentic.co.uk, and you can actually order you can order tarot readings there as well. So, oh gosh, hang on. There you go. Either way, that option is always available to you. So do feel free to go and do either of those if you want. Right then, I've done the drop. So, Paridi, let's have a look. We will go with, for an academic reading, I tell you what, we'll do the where you are, what you need to know, and what the opportunity coming up is likely to be. There we go. So, where you are. Oh, the devil. Now, this doesn't mean the devil, right? This doesn't mean old Nick, old Scratch, the horned goatee one. This doesn't mean any of that, right? This devil is talking about materialism. It's talking about the ties that bind, the bonds, contracts, things like that. So do not be worried about this card. It doesn't mean what it means on the tin, if that makes sense. But that is coming up in your where you are. What you need to know is the Eight of Swords reversed. Okay. And then the opportunity coming up, we've got the Knight of Wands. Okay, interesting. So let's have a look. So when we're looking at the devil in the where you are, the devil largely represents spirit. Oh, no, sorry, not spirit over. It represents the material world over the spiritual. Okay, so it's literally talking about there. Oh no, that's not the right sodding card. Sorry, everybody, I'm a bit tired now. There we go. This one. I've clicked it. This one. Thank you. And so basically, what the devil is talking about is, if I show you this. So this is the pentagram, right? And it is always, if it's 1 point at the top, this is spirit. The other 4 elements are below. So earth, fire, water, and air are below, and spirit is at the top, right? The reason why the devil symbol is the 2 prongs at the top is because it means that spirit is below. So all of the physical needs are being put ahead of the spiritual. Okay, that's all it means. So the devil in the tarot suit is literally just a representation of the putting the physical above the needs of the spiritual. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, you can see here we've got this couple tied together. Sometimes they are married, sometimes they aren't, sometimes it's seen as a contract, because, you know, marriage contracts, there's all sorts of different elements that go into this, but the devil is always about the details. Now, when it's reversed, it's talking about maybe there is something in a contract or something within the studies that you've been working at. There's some details here that you've missed, because what do we say about the devil? The devil is in the details. Okay, so again, the fine print about a contract, there's something here that you need to look into. This is a warning of saying there is something you've missed. It could be that you've been studying what you thought was the right way, and actually you need to look a little bit more here or there or wherever. Do you know what I mean? So it could be that you are going slightly down the wrong path in terms of your studies, or it could be that there's something within the contract for the university or college itself that you need to double check. So make sure you make sure you do your due diligence, and that you have those I's dotted and those T's crossed. Okay, really, really, really important. In the what you need to know, we've got the 8 of Swords. Now, it is reversed, which means whatever this is relating to, this knowledge isn't yours yet. You're still blinkered. You're still blindfolded. As you can see, this person is tied. Now, this is actually a particular type of ties. This is Japanese bondage, which is an art form in and of itself. But you can see these swords, like this person, is this lava? Is this just like the ocean coming up? What is it? This is not a good place to be. These blindfolds, this blindfold has not been lifted yet, right? When it's reversed, it's saying that the knowledge is there. You will get the truth. Swords is trouble and strife. You will find out what is happening. You need to find out what is happening. That will come You've just got to really, really, really search this bit of it. Look at the details. Look again at the small print. Look again at what it is you're being asked to do and what you've committed to, because there's something here that you aren't aware of. And then in the opportunity position, we've got the Knight of Wands. This is also reversed. So this is talking about there is something here. If you don't crack on and get this answer, if this is allowed to continue, you are going to miss out. There's going to be a mistake that has been made, because the knights rush in where angels fear to tread, right? Knights are the ones that think first, act later. They are reactionary, not responsive. And basically what I mean by that is, if there's, so you're a knight on a horse galloping along, everything's lovely, and then there's a big massive gap in the road, you fall in because your knight is reacting. Oh, a gap in the road, down you go. A responsive knight will go, oh, there's a gap in the road, right? Okay, we've got time, I've clocked it, I'm aware of what I'm doing, I'm going to go round that gap in the road, or I'm going to G the horse up to go a bit faster to take the jump. There's all of those elements going on, okay? But this is reverse. So it's saying that unless you find this out, unless you double check this, there is something that is going to bite you in the bum. This future opportunity is going to reveal a mistake that you now won't be able to get out of because it's gone too far. My darling, I know that's not probably the news that you wanted. Excuse me. I know it's probably not the news you wanted, but it is the reading that you need right now, the guidance you need, not necessarily the answers that you want. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you ever so much for your question. And thank you to everybody who's been on tonight and has asked questions. Thank you to everybody who has been and been wonderful in the chat. Thank you to the mods. As always, the moderators are the most wonderful group of people that you can ever imagine. The mods and the members are some of my favorite peeps on the planet. So thank you ever so much for all of them. And yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the channel by hitting that subscribe button. And if you are watching this on the replay crew, please go ahead and do the little I've turned the light off, Ed, thank you. Please go ahead and put a love heart into the chat. Let's make it a lovely purple love heart, because that is the color that we use. But that is going to be it for me today. Thank you, everybody. I will be back on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. UK time. And don't forget our members only chat at 6 p.m. UK time. And you can get access to that by going to buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic. But as I always say, that is it for me today. Stay you, stay true, stay authentic. And whether you are alone, whether you are in a couple, whether you are in a throuple, or whether you are in a group of however many people, have a lovely Valentine's Day. Remember, self-love is always the best kind of love. And I will see you on Tuesday. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon.